Hello. Hi, Michelle. Hey, how's it going? How's it going this evening? I don't have any anything to drink with me, but there's a little box that's sitting behind me that's driving me nuts. Hang on a second. There we go. Trying to maybe that wasn't it, but oh well. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Good evening, everyone. Just hanging in here tonight. I have something to show you that I got from Art Dot. Hopefully my thing won't stutter tonight. Hi, Sherry. And Sandy. Sandy, didn't you have your surgery today? You got almost 5 inches of snow. Oh my gosh. What? Well, we didn't get 5 inches yet, but it was flaking at 7 o'clock when I came home. Oh my goodness. I got a lot of those beads done. I'm working on my Get Her Done month. My Get Her Done things. You're up, walking, and no pain. Sandy, how can you... Didn't you just have your surgery today? You had hip replacement today? Are you serious? You're already up, moving, and with no pain. God be praised. That's wow. I'm and frankly amazed. I'm absolutely amazed. I'm going to be working on February. Is in my room at 5 p.m. Hey, Tammy, glad to have you here tonight, honey. I'm absolutely flabbergasted. You're going home tomorrow. I'm so glad to hear it. Is the hospital food worth staying for? Maybe. You did finish your February. I saw that, Sandy. I saw that. If you haven't had a chance to check on, I don't know if you put it on the Facebook. Did you put it on the Facebook post? But I did see that you got it done. You posted it on yours. Pot roast for dinner. All right. That makes me hungry. I would love pot roast for dinner. I haven't had a good pot roast in a long time. Really? Oh, that sounds like really good. Can you tell I'm a little hungry? I haven't been stopping after work to get any fast food for a couple weeks now. So, like maybe once in 3 weeks, I actually got some fast food after work. Crystal had her 13th birthday yesterday. My granddaughter is now 13. So we had a cake for her yesterday. It was a red velvet cake. She likes red velvet, and her mom made sweet icing. Can't find the Facebook page. You can't. Let me put a link to the right Facebook group. Copy. And paste. And post. There is the proper Facebook group. It's a group, not really a page, it's a group, which is a little different. Tell me how you feeling. Is your heart blood pressure going down, Annie? Your eye. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's an iPad thing. Got another section on Mother Earth done. I love that Mother Earth one. I can't wait to do mine. I have that one. I love that one. I'm amazed you guys are doing so good. Dari was traveling. Tammy had asked for prayers for blood pressure. Sandy, you were having surgery today and needed for housing. Went to the doctor. They said it was normal, so I don't know what's going on. Okay. Maybe you were upset or something when you had your blood pressure done. Plus, maybe everything to my laptop. Okay. It takes time to transition from one thing to the other. It really, really does. I get really frustrated when I have to learn something new, and like the learning curve is crazy. It drives me nuts. Art Dot sent me some things to show you guys, to open for you, and I'm going to put a better review on and link it to them. But as far as tonight, I wanted to show you their new product, and I like it because it's clear. What it is, okay, first you get something called a static eater. Now, this is interesting because they were advertising this. You get stickers of all the colors if you want to use them. All the DMC colors. Now, this static eater, let me see what it says on here. Oh, come on. Okay. Place the static eater inside the tray, close the lid, and shake to eliminate static electricity and prevent diamonds from sticking. So, I'll show you. It comes in 3 different sizes. Or 2 sizes. I'm sorry, 2 sizes. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the large ones and 10 of the smaller ones. So I'm going to show you in a little case like this. Hello, Miss Tammy. And they're clear. Some of the ones I've had before are not clear. They're colored. And they might have a little butterfly or something on the end that you can put the sticker on. These recommend you putting the sticker, what does it say? Well, it says the labels can go on the edge, on either edge. And the thing that's unique about these is you can put quite a lot in them. Now, come on. All right, I'm having trouble getting the lids off. It's a slide lid. There it is. Okay. And in here, you have the straight drill, the straight rows, and you have the little sections for, I think, 3 at a time. I'm not sure. No, it's a 4. It's for a 4-placer. That's good because 4 places are used most often. Okay, you have straight rows for multi-placing and 4s. Okay, and at this end you have the flat edge so that they come away from the edge. There doesn't seem to be a pour spout of any kind. So I do want to use that. The thing is, when you get these, you have enough for some, 5 of the large. When you have a lot of drills. I can't find my words tonight. So I'll do a much better job with it when I actually tape to the real thing. And you get 10 of the littler ones. And we all know we get some small amounts of drills in our projects as well. So this is, yeah, you just got to find the right edge to pull it off the first time. And this way you can put all all of them in the tray and shake it around and just put the lid on. When you're doing confetti, these things are really handy because you can have them all out. They're not going to dump. They're not going to fall. You don't have to have one color out at a time. If you forget one, you just pick up the tray, pop one in, close it up, put it away. Whoop, put it away before you get out another one. So these things can be quite convenient. It's not like putting it in a tube and putting them in your tray. Then when you're done, pouring them all back into the tube and then having to get it in and out, in and out, in and out every time you're using that color. So, and I've seen the stands where you can put a bunch of these in a stand. Now, this just comes with plastic packing. It's not really an official stand. You could make it that way. You could just cut the lid off and use it as your stand. I don't see anything wrong with doing that. So I'm not going to use them tonight because I have this project kitted up into the tubes already that I'm using for the whole year. So I'm not going to use them for kitting up tonight. But my next project, I will use them for kitting up and use it for the project. They are 15 pieces altogether. Like I said, 5 large and 10 small. It has 2 different divided layouts because it's a multi-layout. You could use a funnel to put the drills back in the bottles. Yeah, you could. You absolutely could. But this is meant so that you don't have to. So that you don't have to keep going back and forth all the time. You get the static eater, which is, did I lose that already? Yeah, I think I did. I think I lost it already. Oh, no, here it is. It's this little, it just says static eater. And what you do is you put it in the tray with the drills, shake it around, and it's supposed to absorb the static. And you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. They stack without the plastic tray. The diamonds settle into the grids, so they align perfectly. They align more perfectly than in a random tray. And you have the static eater, and then you can attach the labels on the ends for quick identification. What this might be, if you did get a whole lot of these, you could, in essence, you could use them to put your spare drills if you wanted to. Although you'd have to get a bunch of kits. A lot of kits for that. You couldn't find the squishy pins? What squishy pins, hon? Squishy pins. I don't know what you mean by squishy pins. I hope StreamYard isn't lagging behind by too much tonight. It sometimes likes to do that. Oh. 2, 3, 4. X is 24. Last week I gave away a planner. And did you see what I'm giving away this week? Not this week, but this month for February, for Get Her Done month. So don't forget to put your information, like your progress report. If you're starting another project to get her done, then put a project start and then later on a progress report in for the project. Like I said, I got a lot of beads and the pens finished. I have to min wax them yet. I have to polyacrylic them. Yeah, thank you. Don't forget to hit the like button because it does absolutely help the channel. And I do appreciate it. In case you haven't seen it. Oh, wait a minute. Come here, you. I'm going to find a different package to put it in. But this is what I am giving away in February for Self-Care Month. A brand new bath sponge, cucumber, and it's cool cucumber Dove bath bar, a little rose scented candle. I can smell it now. White citrus bubble bath. This is vanilla, honey vanilla body cream, and a self-care journal. Thank you for yourself. All in this little zippy travel kit. That's what I'm giving away for February. For Get Her Done month for February. And I got this finished. One of the gals in one of my bosses at the club really likes octopuses. So I had found this on Tues, and it only took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most. So, hello, Anita. So I made this week too. I got that done. When I was doing the beads and everything, and I used up all my spare round drills that didn't have any DMC numbers on them. I've got a ton of drills, especially squares, but they all have the, thank you, the DMC numbers on them. So I still have a couple bags of the pink pens that I cut into pieces. I need to get more double-sided tape of the width that I need to wrap around them. And I'm going to use some of my spare bling, the spare crystals, because I've got a bazillion of those that I'm not using. And they're color-coded a different way. So I'm going to use a bazillion of those, I think. Sherry, did I miss Sherry? And Annette, hello, Annette. I saw you come in too. The lounge with Annette. Hello, Annette. Did I miss Sherry? You asked me last week. Oh, these. This one. Tell me I'll have to send you one. You went to Etsy to look for them but couldn't find them. Tammy, I'll have to send you one. Because I don't use them, so I'll send you one. All right. Let me write that down here. The name of the Art Dot storage set. They are just starting to sell them. It's coming out. It's called the storage tray, 15 storage trays with lids. They sent me a premiere set to show you guys. So I have this one for free from them, and I'm also bought another set. So I have 2 sets of them. So I can do a decent project. Because you usually get more than 15 different colors in one kit up. So I thought with 2, at least I'd have 30, and I'd be closer to 32 or that normally. See, I didn't see Annette yet. I know Nita's here. I didn't see Annette yet. Did I see Annette? Oh, Lounge with Annette. Yeah, duh. I said that. My brain is not, like, not completely. You saw those trays? Have you used them yet? Well, you know what? I'll use one tonight just to play with it. I have other trays like this that I do like, but they're colored. They don't have a clear lid. I like the clear lid on these. So I'm sending a squishy pen to Tammy T. Do you like purple or green better, Miss Tammy T? Purple or green better? Let's go with my background today. Mark said that the problem with seeing my stream last week, it kind of like stuttered. The playback stuttered. You guys didn't see it when you were in here. The playback stuttered. She said it was probably. He said it was probably because of all the colors in the background competing, and I don't have a green screen. These were from the Cheeky Turtle, the Etsy shop, the Cheeky Turtle at gmail.com or thecheekyturtle.com. Dora Laddish is the owner and crafter. Purple. Tammy wants the purple one. Okay. You got it, kiddo. I'll send you one. Let's see. Alrighty. And you'll have to let me know if there are any more. Anybody has any more prayer requests for tonight to add or change from last week's? 2/11/25. I do want to. I think I said it earlier, but my granddaughter's 13th birthday was yesterday. I can't believe we have 2 teenagers. I have 2 teenagers as grandkids. Can't believe it. I'm going to be putting up the pens that I made from the spares on the Etsy shop. I am going through and trying to find more things to put up on my Etsy shop as well. It's been getting a little bit of look-sees from here and there. I did sell a few others, a few other things. So that was a good thing. I want to get rid of more quicker, so I think I have to lower my prices again. And you guys are always welcome to have a discount, but you've seen everything on there right now. So I want to put some new stuff up on there for you guys to check out soon. I just have to get my paper finished. I have to get a ministry paper finished before I can work on that. Your oldest grandson will be 13 this year. I know. It's like, yeah, no longer a tween. Oh, I've got some tweens in my classroom. I don't know if my my co-teacher is on with me tonight, but she can tell you. She could tell you. Oh my goodness. she can tell you we've had some tween anxiety this week. The kids going through, stuff. And some of them just don't feel like they need to be accountable for their homework. And it's like, well, then why are you here? I got a mini pen that's fatter. It's plastic, but I'm not sure if I like it or not yet. Okay. You mean pen? Not pin. You mean pen, P-E-N? I'm just trying to make sure I have the right information here. But yeah. Come off. I'm liking this flower tray. I really do. If you hadn't seen it, it's wide. I like having the back open, and it's like a shelf. They slide into the rivels really nicely. And it's an Etsy shop too. It's Flower, F-L-A-W-A. Flower. I think it's meant to be like flour, but well, I have their card here somewhere. Yeah, F-L-A-W-A. Flower Designs. That's the tray I'm using tonight. And I'm using just one of the newer DAC Goopy pens. I've been using it more often than not. With right now I'm still using putty that I got from Joy. I have a lot of banana. They really take a long time to use, the putties, which is a good thing. I don't like it when it gets dirty because sometimes I push it back into the edge, into the top edge, and I'm pushing it back in. Then sometimes it gets dirty, and I don't like seeing it dirty, so I pull it all out and put new stuff in. But yeah, I just find I'm using that. Mark has been trying his hand at turning some resin pens and some rare wood pens. He's got a purple heart pen that's absolutely gorgeous. So he's been working on that. He hasn't been feeling well the past couple days. So if you want to keep Mark in your prayer list, he's just not feeling, I don't know, his stomach's been doing goofy things. And get your first putty yesterday. The unicorn poop smells like cotton candy. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I've got 3 of hers. I had gotten like a Christmas wreath, a Christmas one. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like this flower one because the ridges are up so high that they're all like, I barely had to work at all to get them all nice and even in the tray here like this. And I like them when they sit nice. Yep. Hope he isn't getting the nasty flu that's going around. Oh, thank you, Nina. I hope he isn't too. He says it's not that, but I got a COVID shot the other week, and my arm ached for 2 days. I felt like I had the flu for 2 days, so it just wasn't a fun week. But next week I start getting my teeth worked on, so that's not going to be a fun week. But we have President's Day. We have Friday and Monday off. We have a 4-day weekend coming up for President's Day, and I'm looking forward to that. I think the kids are looking forward to it too. I don't know. Did you ever? Oh, thank you. Sandy, that's sweet. And we're sending it back to you too, because we want to see you recuperated really fast from your surgery too. Did you ever hear of the traditions that the kids want the day off for a snow day? That they sleep with a metal spoon under their pillow, and they wear their pajamas backwards, inside out. And somebody something about putting something on a windowsill. And what was the other thing they said they were doing? I forget. In order to get, hopefully, the snow comes to have a snow day tomorrow. I don't know. But this weekend they're having a big parade for the Eagles. If you already know why. I know, it's amazing you're already walking up the hallway. That's it. Oh, ice cubes in their shoes on the porch. The other one was flushing ice cubes down the toilet. That's what the other one was. I like them on the porch better than down the potty. It takes a while for some of them to melt, and I just don't want to have an overflow while you're waiting for all that stuff to melt. Anyway, so that's what they were talking about in today, what they were going to do tonight. There's already a 2-hour delay. They've called a 2-hour delay for tomorrow, the bus company. Haven't heard that at all. Never had a wish for a snow day. As I'm from Rochester, New York, we always had snow days. Yeah, you probably didn't have to work too hard to have a snow day in New York. In Pennsylvania, for a long time, it was on again, off again. Sometimes it would be a good snow day, and sometimes it wouldn't. And now the kids have what they call flexible learning days. They don't even get snow days. They have to be on their computer and check in with their class 4 times during the day, at certain times, to prove that they were doing their work and paying attention when the teacher was doing instruction. I mean, apparently, as long as you get your work done, you can go out and play in the snow in between, but I don't know. For us, a snow day was a snow day. We would, get the plastic bags out, the bread bags. We'd put them, we'd have heavy socks on. We would stick our feet in bread bags, like Wonder Bread bags, and then stick them in our snow boots. Because more often than not, our snow boots had holes or leaks. And it would keep your feet warmer and drier if you were out for a long time. We had a pair of gloves and a pair of mittens on. And we had a scarf wrapped around us that we had to breathe through. And it would fog up your glasses and everything because it would all come back up at you. You always did that too, Sandy? So you know what I'm talking about, the bread bags in your shoes. You hated wearing the bread bags. I grew up in Canada. What was a snow day? We went no matter how cold or how much snow. I live in the U.S. now, and they cancel if there's even a chance of snow. Yeah, when my friends used to go to, she moved to North Carolina, and she said it was funny because they'd call for a dusting, and they'd have so many accidents. Nobody knew how to drive in slick weather at all. She was from Pennsylvania. She was driving on bald tires. She didn't care. Now they have extra homework when we go back to school, but it was worth it. Yeah. Yep. Sunbeam bread bags. Yep. And we would wear boots that were hand-me-downs. I mean, we didn't have brand new boots. Ours were all hand-me-downs. So that's why they had so many holes in it, because we were using, our brothers or our neighbors or somebody who was older and bigger than us. We were using their boots first. Plastic bags over our tennis shoes to keep our tennis shoes from getting wet. All right. We would slip around in the snow with it too much like that. And that was the case. But now I'm trying to figure out what that letter is because I do not know. Oh, there's a 2 and a K. And what is that? That's a brown something or other. I don't know. It just looks like a blob dot. And I guess that's... I don't know. Well, I'll do the 2s first. To keep our tennis shoes from getting wet. Yeah. 24. Anybody watch the Super Bowl? Anybody interested in it? I'm the eldest of 8, 4 girls. I would get my cousin's clothing and my sisters would get mine. Yep. I had some cousins. I was the oldest, but I wasn't the biggest. So I did get a lot of my clothes new. But we had my mom's friends. Some of them had pretty good taste and were a little older than me. So I did get a few of their hand-me-downs. Lubbock, Texas, we didn't get that much snow. But you got mud, didn't you? You got rain and mud, though. Grandma would wear the plastic grocery bags on her head if it was raining. On her head? Oh, Lord. Yeah, I didn't watch it at all, but when I started hearing the fireworks in the evening up and down the road here, I'm like, oh, we must have won this one. Because our neighbors go crazy. I hear fireworks on the 4th and on New Year's night. And it's either fireworks or somebody's shooting off their shotgun. You love watching football, Sherry? We had so many rooting for the Eagles. And since that's my backyard team practically, everybody here was rooting for the Eagles. Except my brother, who always roots for the Cowboys. That's his team. He used to root for the Jets, the New York Jets. But he figured the Cowboys. He's been rooting for the Cowboys since we were, like, older. I'm cutting in and out. Am I cutting in and out for anybody else? Or is it just for Anita? I want to be sure. My grandma didn't. She just put them on her head and tied it. Oh, okay. Just tied it underneath her chin. I can see that. I don't know if any of your grandmas used to save these, but what about the margarine tubs? With the lids? Fine on your end, Sandy? Good. My husband is from Mount Enterprise, Texas. Okay. Yeah. So far, everything else is fairly decent. I had a paper due for my spiritual direction class that I got finished. Got that done. I really, really, really should have taken care of some, like my pension plan and save all plastic containers so we can reuse them. Yeah. My pension plan and my school loan stuff before all this business with the new president started. Because now I'm regretting it, and I have some work to recoup some of that stuff now. I won't get into talking about politics, but it's hard not to say I told you so. Doesn't help anything but make me feel better. So that's that. How is the Get Her Done month coming for everybody? How much are you looking to another project? Are you part of the way through one? Have you gotten, I know some of you have posted some things on the Facebook. Do you need more motivation? Do I need to post more during the month to remind everybody to go back to the Get Her Done stuff? Would that help anybody? Because I know I'm not really posting too much as far as other than our lives. You have 2 more WIPs to finish, Sandy. You'll get back to them tomorrow when you get home. At least you can do that sitting down. But does your hip hurt more sitting down? Halfway through both of my 2 WIPs I have going. All right. Very good. Another snow day thing we used to do is, well, with my kids anyway, we have, before we got the sewer running up and down the street, the street, we had a sand mound out the back. So my kids would take whatever kind of metal disc, or, we had some really cheap sled things, and they would grab one of those and go to the top of the hill and slide down the hill. Slide down the hill for that. I'm mixing mine up, so I am doing a few at a time. So when I get bored with one, I go to another one. That's a good idea, Anita. Only 48 hours instead of 24 hours in a day. I do the same thing, Anita. I have several WIPs. Do I need to post a comment reminder like I do for events? First start. You could. You could. That would remind me to do it too. You have 4 WIPs at a time. I usually have a really long project going. Like I still have my, Anita, not Anita, what am I thinking? Josephine Wall. And yes, I intend to do it. That's my long one. And like you saw, I got the octopus done as a gift. I'm doing these monthly ones while I'm in chat with you guys, gals, my divas. And I'm also working on the pens. That's my Get Her Done. I'm going to have to get to my mending pretty soon, my pile of mending behind my shoulder here. We had a small park close by, and they had the best sledding hills. That's nice. We had some good hills if you wanted to end up in a road at the other end of them, which was not to our liking, so we weren't allowed to use those, obviously. But we would come in frozen to the core. My mom would have hot chocolate ready for us every time. We'd have a fireplace, a Franklin stove, actually, in our living room. And this is when we had an oil crisis, during Jimmy Carter's reign. And so we got a Franklin stove for the big room, the big family room. So when we come in from the snow or whatever, we would get our mittens off and everything, and we'd hang them on the door, the metal door that closed over or like stood up right near the fire, and they would dry so quickly. So if we wanted to go back out again, we could, within an hour or two. Nice and warm and toasty. You have the January and February mini ones to do. Cool. saving up after I move for a Josephine wall. Hey, I would send you one, but you wouldn't want the ones that you wouldn't want the Australian ones that I have. Just when I do post, I'll get her done once a week. Just a reminder, but you don't have to do it once a week. I just want to at least one a month, like the beginning of the month and the end of the month, sort of, to remind everybody to post so that I can pick somebody who posted during the month. We would grab a blanket and sit on the furnace grate. Yes, I used to love to do that too. I used to love to be in a dress, and when the heat would come up the furnace grate, and I would pretend to be like Marilyn Monroe over the subway grate, with everything blowing up, blowing your skirt up. We had one-piece snowsuits. I had them for my kids. That Christmas movie, The Christmas Story, I think it's that classic now, where the kids go out in their one-piece snowsuits and they're so they're so bundled up they can't move. It's hilarious. I didn't know anybody dumb enough to stick their tongue on a metal pole, though. I think we all kind of got it that was not a good idea. None of us wanted to test that out in real time, fortunately. We all had experience having our tongues get stuck to ice cubes, so we knew. Arctic cat snowmobiles. We had a neighbor who had a couple, and once in a while we got to ride on the back of them, but not often. It's 8 hooked on phonics, so we're starting to do that. Oh, great, Tammy. Hooked on Phonics is a good program, I've heard. They don't do a whole lot with phonics in school right now. Maybe more so with the ESL kids than the other kids, but I haven't seen much, at least in 4th and 5th grade homework, come through that has anything to do with phonics. But your grandson is younger, so I'm going to be starting the Ruth Bible study in March, I believe. I'm going to start it for Lent. If anybody is interested, let me know. It's on Ruth, and it's about Naomi's transition, and it's going to have some prayer exercises and a different way of reading scripture in the midst of it all. You had a bad connection tonight, Anita? The rain? Okay. You got to do what you got to do. Has 5 plus the Ski-Doo. Ski-Doo's water ones. Oh, wow. I would have loved to have had more time on them when I was a kid. But the Ski-Doos and seeing the neighbors have fun on them, I guess, was enough. We had lots of noise coming from next door when we didn't have, there were some times when we had a lot of snow and sometimes when we didn't. Some years that we didn't. And I think it didn't snow often enough for any of us to buy a snowmobile ourselves. My dad had a motorcycle. That was enough. I loved riding on the back of the cycle with my dad in the summertime. Of course, we didn't ride that unless it was summertime. He always said I was a natural rider on the motorcycle because I would just bend with him, right behind him. Have you seen Bingo for Sight Words? Our 6-year-old grandson. I love playing that. No, I haven't. That does sound like fun. It does sound like fun. We were trying to do some fun math facts things instead of doing all worksheets. But then the kids got so rowdy at times that I couldn't get them to get their work done, or they didn't want to do them with a partner because then you'd have to wait for the partner to get done, and they didn't understand all the instructions. So I'm like, okay, back to the worksheets. Back to the worksheets. But right now, for most of the year, the kids, I've had them writing like 3 or 4 sentences about what they read during their reading time. And they're really pretty good at it. But lately I've been asking for noun-verb combinations. It took them a while to figure out what a noun was and what a verb was. Some of them are still trying to figure that out. But some of them are very good at it. So so now I'm giving them a choice. And a little bit later in the spring, I'm going to go to adjectives and adjectives. Like a verb and describing a verb, like jumped high, or something describing the noun, like green hair. Okay, yeah, please do. Be comfortable, Sandy, please. I'm just delighted you're here with us tonight. I'm just so delighted you feel good enough to be with us. That's a lot. That's saying a lot. I think I would be sound asleep on pain meds right about now if I just had surgery like you did. So so things are going along, but they're just going slowly. Did you ever get really frustrated with yourself? Like you knew you should have done something, you procrastinated a long time doing it, and now that you're facing the consequences of not doing that something, it's like I'm just so mad at myself for not. I mean, I had 6 months or so I could have done it in, and I didn't. And now I'm paying the consequences of it, and we're about to, and I've got to do all the paperwork all over again, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I get really upset with myself. We used to take sight words and put on index cards, tape them to the door. Yeah, doors, mirror, anything they open, close, or touch. She has ADD memory issues. That's when she would. Yes, we used to do that too, and that would really help them memorize things. Came across notice by accident using my cell phone, waiting for my iPad to charge up. Well, I am so glad. So much she had to say before she did those things. Yeah, I mean, it does help you. It does help those with ADD with language skills to do that. Absolutely. Yep. So that's kind of why I was in a bad mood yesterday. I was in a bad mood yesterday because of my own fault. And I tried to work on it and rectify a little bit this morning. And it's just one of those things you get bogged down on. It's financial stuff. Okay. And just like when you are getting ready for taxes. Okay. And my mind with numbers just starts to swim. It doesn't work. And I just I don't know. It's just so frustrating. Okay, I'm going to do letter C now, and letter C is number 10. He did it when he was learning Spanish. He's 32 and a high school Spanish teacher. Wonderful. I need to learn more Spanish so my kids don't pull one over on me. They like to do that. They like to pretend they're saying a word that isn't upsetting. And I see the other kids reacting to it like, and I know I'm supposed to be upset with it, but I don't know what they said. Like, I want to do roast too, Tammy. I'm like, since she mentioned it, I'm like, oh my gosh, now I need pot roast. I'm going to have to grab one and throw it in the crock pot all day and then come home to the smell of a roast. Just like, oh, that'd be awesome. You're going home tomorrow afternoon. I think that's fantastic. My mom had a teacher who came to her to get her hair done. My mom's a hairdresser. And, you know, after the teacher retired, was coming to my mom to get her hair done. And she had a hip replacement. She had a double hip replacement at once. And within a week, she was out, a week or two, she was out in the driveway, and she would be running from the driveway in to the beauty shop because she just loved her hip replacement so much. And I keep thinking, if I go for a replacement, that's what I'm going to need too. My hips done, not my knees. My knees are decent. My hips hurt. I have relatives who've had to have their knees done, and it's not fun. My cousin has so much scar tissue that she's in a lot of pain. My brother got his done, and it was fine. But not my cousin. She's had a hard time with it. They want to know what your limitations at home will be. How long do they expect you to recuperate, Sandy? Do you have to do physical therapy afterward? What are they going to have you doing? If they had you up and moving already in the hallway, which you said they did, they're probably going to do physical therapy with you or send you home with some exercises. You have a wheelchair, walker. That's cool. I had to use one for my leg when I busted my leg. It took me weeks to get over that when I had they put a rod in my femur. It took me over a year to stop limping. That was no fun. No fun at all. One of the girls came in today and was making those little basket weave hearts. You take 2 different colors of construction paper and you cut them and then wrap them in and out. I will, Tammy. I'll let you know. I was thinking on a Sunday evening, but that's not good for everybody. So I'm not sure. But doing it during the day, during a weekday afternoon or something is not good for everybody either. So I don't know. I still have to figure out a day for that. Your post-op exercises, laying down and making bleed in my feet or windshield wipers. I I had to do that for my lower back exercises. Sometimes they send a social worker to your house to be sure you qualify for a nurse to come. That's for my leg. They did that too. They had a Beata nurse come like 2 or 3 times and give me exercises and stuff and make sure I was progressing. Do the whole blood pressure thing. And then I got a prescription for more physical therapy after that. And I did that for a while too. And my doctor is really open, and she trusts me. And if I say like my fibromyalgia is getting too bad or something that I need physical therapy for, that my shoulders or something like that, she'd be glad. She's always glad to give me a script for physical therapy when I need it. And then I have I could go for 12 visits as needed. You have 2 post-op exercises, no physical therapy ordered. Okay. Well, not yet anyway. You're too close to surgery to have physical therapy. And at least you don't have to go to one of the, a rehab facility. A Sunday school class years ago, we did all the important women of the Bible. Yeah, that's a fun one. There's a reason I wanted to start with Ruth. I just been seeing some things in it, and Ruth has always meant a lot to me. And it kind of goes with what I want to do with the website, and it's good on the theme. But there'll be some prayer exercises in the middle of it, like maybe a journaling question or 2. You can either journal or do a creative project to express yourself. You don't have to. You don't have to talk about, your journaling at all if you don't want to, but you can if you want to. And I have some gals that are going to be on my ministry team that are joining the Bible study together. And I think it'll be important for our, bonding with each other and the ministry team to do that together. And plus I have some ideas on a different way to do Bible study. And I'd like to test that out and have people say, well, no, this didn't work, or that worked, or this didn't, and how I can improve it before I put it out for sale, or put it out, give it away, whatever's going to happen to it. I don't know. But before I start doing more Bible studies with a new format, I know it works for me, but I don't know if it's going to work for others. And I need some professional opinions on that. Sunday evening's fine with Tammy. Okay. It was really good. I have a book from where I was in high school with all the women in the Bible. That's cool, Tammy. That really is. It's given to us at graduation. I have some really good books from those days too. And every once in a while I go back to the Bible studies from then and see if there's anything I can glean out of it. Because they don't do things. This is redundant, but they don't do things like they used to, obviously. But I just want it to be a friendly, casual time, and a spiritually insightful time. I don't want it to be like I'm not the kind of person who says there's only one correct way to think about things, or to teach something. I like to hear everybody's opinions, what everybody is learning, so that we can all benefit from. Oh, the nurse is there. Okay. So that we can all benefit from each other's knowledge. That's what I like to do. insight, I should say, not just knowledge, and the wisdom on how to apply it. But anyway, that's that. I'll let everybody know when I'm going to start it in March and see if anybody else wants to join in. June. Yeah, it's unbelievable. 50 years ago this June. Wow. Tammy, where does the time go? Where does the time go? I ask myself that all the time. I do not know. I've got to get over there more often. Over to Tammy's channel. Yes, please do check out Michelle's channel and Nix's channel and Tammy's channel. And I thought Diamond Grandma was going to come on at some point. I have to call and remind her. Oh, this Friday, weather permitting, I am going to interview our 100-year-old gal. And I'm going to be doing a bit about her life story, and I'm going to be taping it for y'all. So that one of these Tuesday nights, I'm going to premiere it. I'm going to be showing it to you, and I'm going to be in the background talking about it as we watch it together. I feel so old. Yeah, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. So I can't wait to show it to you. She's so spry. She's still driving. She just stopped golfing last year. She's doing wonderful. And while I have the opportunity to interview someone who is so with it at 100 years old, and share her story with y'all, I look forward to it. And then I taped my mom doing her thimble demonstration, the history of thimbles and stuff like that, and showing our thimble collection. I taped that, so I'm gonna try to be putting that up soon. I have to edit some things out, like dishes banging and things like that. Yeah, finally. I know, right? Rose is so awesome. I have a lunch appointment with her on Friday, as long as the weather holds out. Now, the kids are already going in for a 2-hour delay tomorrow, but it might be worse. It might be like they're not having school at all. So we shall see. But I'm in the mood for no school at all. I don't know about you. And we're glad that Nix is feeling better. She's up and around. My father-in-law is 95. I love listening to the stories he shares. I love that too. I absolutely love it. They have so much to share. And I love doing the life stories of, like, when I did a summer as a chaplain in a nursing home. And one of our assignments was to do a life review of one of the residents. And I just love hearing their stories. I grew up around my grandparents, both sets of my grandparents and my great-grandparents, and they always had stories to share. And I always loved hearing their stories and knowing that it was part of my history too now. And I love that. And I don't think some families don't get to enjoy that. They don't get all that passed down wisdom from relatives that we could all use. So I'm kind of preserving some of that. I want to do some with my mom. I want to interview her more often and show her and like interview and have her one sometimes. Hello, Dawn. Glad to see you here, honey. Miss Dawn. You can put your channel in the links to your channel and pages in the chat too. Oh no. What's her first name, Tammy? You probably gave it to me before and I had it, but I want to write it down on my list for this week. Your 12-year-old granddaughter? Absolutely. That's so important. There isn't anything more important than that, in my humble opinion. Just put her first name in the chat so that we can pray for her fully. Her. Here we go. Okay. First initial is J. Okay, that's fine. I get that. No problem. Yeah. If anybody else has any prayer requests, feel free to type them in the chat. They will go on my list for this week. And I go over my list daily. And the other thing I'm concentrating on right now is self-care. And sometimes self-care, well, I was talking with a friend of mine, self-care isn't selfish. It's actually kind of countercultural. It's actually, you don't have to keep up with the Joneses type thing. You can, oh, I missed a few. Sometimes, yeah, you're needed to do good things in the world. You absolutely are. I mean, that's what we're put on earth to do, is to be in relationship and to make the world a better place for others and things like that. But sometimes I really believe that God wants us all to himself. God wants time with us. God, universe, creator, the one who set all things in motion, her. I believe that, you know, there's an intimacy that is needed between you and God before you have the energy to go out and do anything for anybody else, before you have the emotional strength and the knowledge to go out and do anything for anyone else. You need to connect on a deeper level with the power of the universe, with the one who gives you the purpose. And it's not just so that you will have energy and purpose. It's because God craves that part of you that she created, or he created, they created. God wants communion or relationship with you. If you thinking about it on a Christian level anyway, we are taught that, God made the Garden of Eden perfect, and look forward every day to hanging out with Adam and Eve in the cool of the day, just walking and talking together. God wants companionship from us, with us. And self-care, to me, is that time to hang out with the Creator and just be. To listen to the breeze go through the trees. To read a good book if needed, or create something and just have it silent and just sort of listen. I get insights sometimes when I'm got my hands busy. Like when I'm diamond painting, I might put on some spa music in the background just to have some noise going on. But I get the most insights when I am journaling, when I'm doing art projects, when I'm doing diamond painting, that kind of thing. Because my body is occupied, my brain is sort of occupied, and my spirit can kind of soar. So that's where I get my inspiration for things. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, if they have any similar experiences, but I think self-care is taking that time to just hang out with Creator and know yourself to be loved. Know that you're loved beyond measure. And then go from there. It's not, God didn't show up to be judgmental. God showed up to hang out. God wants to hang out with us. All right, I'm done my sermon. You can turn your headphones back on now. Done my sermon. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody by that, but I'm just coming from my experience. Everybody has different experiences, but that's my experience. And I hope that no one will be critical of my experiences, as I don't intend to be critical of anybody else's. But if somebody is looking for a deeper connection, I'd try it. I would try it. Anyway. Oh, okay. Like I said, I don't want to be offensive to anyone. I'm not trying to force my beliefs on anyone. I'm just, and many people have different words for the power that created the universe. I think of it on a quantum level, a quantum science level. the particles that keep us all together, bound together in relationship to each other, in relationship to the earth. And I think we need to be in a better relationship with ourselves too. I spent a lot of my life criticizing myself because I was taught, we were told, Christianity anyway, that there's original sin and you were born bad and you have to get this original sin out of you with baptism and all this stuff. So for all my life, I believed that, we sin all the time and we've got this badness in us that has to come out. And really, when I had my children, I'm looking at these beautiful infants and thinking, where's the bad that I'm supposed to see in them? There's beauty in this creation. There's absolute beauty in life. That's how you start when you listen to Christian music. Yeah, I feel that way too. Yep, Big Bang Theory. There's beauty in a child. And innocence and purity. Like they came fresh from the divine being. You almost want to tell them to whisper their secrets. What's God like? Tell me. I want to ask that all the time of an infant. Tell me what God's like, please, before you forget. And I think the particles that make up life, that make creation, just like energy can't be destroyed, it only changes form. I think our spiritual nature is the same type of thing, is like energy particles or this God particle that they're looking for, the Higgs boson particle and that kind of thing. I think of that and the Big Bang, that the universe is ever expanding and it just keeps changing from one form of energy to another. Absolutely, Tammy. I do too. I mean, I used to like to listen to lots of praise music, but sometimes it gets repetitive. It gets like they all start to sound the same and they're not quite so fresh anymore. But during certain seasons like Christmas and Easter and certain times over the summer, I binge out on praise music. And then I'm good to go for a while. And what I love is the old hymns, because I love the poetry of the language of the hymns. Not all of them. Some of them are too warlike for me, but some of the newer hymns, the Tues music, the whole thing. Yeah, well, yeah, all bets are off when they change to become teenagers. When they get to be tweens, forget it. Oh, they just started you on Lyrica. I'm on Lyrica, I believe, for my fibromyalgia. For depression and fibromyalgia. I think it's for depression, too. It's the one for depression that also works on muscle aches and pains and anxiety. That's what I hear anyway. It's been working well for me right now. Lexapro is another one. Yeah, don't get me started on the preteens I have right now. Oh, my Lord. And don't ever pray for patience, because the only way you get it is to be tested. If you pray for patience when you have kids, you are asking for trouble. But we all know that now, huh? the other self-care I'm doing is I have a graph paper with the days of the month across the top, the long wise, and my friends, my relatives and friends down the short wise. And I am writing in, I put a check mark in the box if I've blessed them today. I put a square around the box if they bless me today. And I fill in the whole box if we've done both. So that way I get to keep in contact with my close family and friends and make sure I don't forget. Like with ADD, you have the best of intentions, but you don't always get to everything. And then months slip by and you just haven't thought about certain people. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to keep up with the loved ones in my life. So I'm having more lunch get-togethers with friends than I had before, and longer phone calls or Zoom togethers. And I'm keeping up with some friends that way, and I'm really happy with that. I will tell her happy birthday. Thank you. You're going to be okay. I don't remember that one. I have to look that way. Oh, Epstein-Barr. Yep, and Lupus, they're all in the same group. Yep, Lyrica. Yep. That was horrible for you, Anita. Maybe. Yeah, not all meds are good for everybody. So you have to work with your doctor until one works well. It could be years before they find the right ones if you're just getting started. And that's the rough part. Oh, now how can I read that? I need a magnifying glass. There are two really close colors here. All right, that's the F. What is that one then? Is it the A or is it something else? It's got to be the A. Nope, there's ones in there too. I'll be doggone. Or is it all ones? It might be ones. They're all ones with the F's. I'll do the F's first. Yeah, because ones are around the outside too. Okay. 11. So far, I'm getting there. Yeah, that love does look kind of wonky. The V on the love kind of looks wonky, but... Oh, now I'm disappearing. It's 10:30 already, you guys. I'm going to make a Cymbalta. I had Cymbalta for a while. You know, Anita, gabapentin is not a good drug. You found that out too, I assume. Yeah, gabapentin put me to sleep. I almost wound up in a lake driving because I fell asleep driving. That was not a good experience. If I have too much pain, I take it at night before I go to bed, but then I'm groggy when I wake up in the morning, and it's just, oof. They had me on way too many meds for a while. Way too many. So, yeah, everybody has a different body chemistry, so hopefully you find a doctor that listens to you and works with you until you find where it works best. You would fall asleep eating dinner. Yep, exactly. Like you were an infant. Like we used to do when we were infants, our head in spaghetti. Bonk. I thought that was so much fun with the little kids when they were in that in-between stage where they didn't think they needed a nap in the afternoon. And when you keep them up till later on at night, they'd fall asleep in their SpaghettiOs for dinner. I would love that stage. Of course, then they'd be up at dark 30 in the morning, and you'd be blessing them then. But geez, give a pet and set me for a loop, especially when you have Meniere's. Yes, the vertigo. Yep. I had Meniere's too, but I don't think it affected mine that way. Of course, I could be wrong. I don't remember that being the case for me. My dad was a massage therapist, and the chiropractor taught him how to have his head manipulated or the positions to get his head in order for the Meniere's to resolve itself. And my husband and I remind each other of that once in a while. I'm sure there's a YouTube demonstration of it somewhere that you can look up. I have to be careful bending over too fast because that'll happen to me then. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. It's stated on the label may cause dizziness. Yeah. And some people get really addicted to it too. So that's not good. I kept telling the doctor I didn't want anything that I could get addicted to. I wasn't going to take it. I don't really have an addictive personality, I don't think. But you never know. You know, a moment of weakness, and the best people can go down that lane. I do not want to be battling that on top of everything else, too. I've seen it drag too many people under, and I don't want to be somebody that struggles with that. It may become a Schedule 4. I know, Sandy, I love that about you, that you're holistic and natural. Back to Mother Nature. And I think we need to go back to nature for some things, and then in other ways that, we were given the gift of science to learn from and be curious about, and as long as we don't abuse science either, it can be a good thing. But science has been abused as well. Anything anybody can make a buck on has been abused in this lifetime. It's disgusting. If you could move anywhere in the world, where would you move? Oh, Miss Tammy, what a great question. If you could move anywhere in the world, where would you move? I'd want to be in the mountains by a glacier lake. I'd want to be more in nature where I don't hear a whole lot of traffic go rushing by my window, but close enough that I can get to the grocery store or it can get to me. I'm not into I have a lot of respect for those people who go off grid, who do everything for themselves. Solar power, who do all that for themselves. I have a lot of respect for those hardworking people in life. It's just not me. Warmer weather, yeah, that would be nice. I kind of like where my friend is in West Virginia because she's got the mountains and she's got gorgeous views and she's got neighbors that aren't at her back door at the same time. She's got electric and a beautiful house and animals, and she had a bear in her driveway the other month. And she doesn't have people breathing down her neck saying, you can't do this or that with your property. You can't paint it a certain color, or you can't be fixing your car in the driveway, or no noise after 10 p.m. Gated communities are not where I'm living. No way. I'm too independent for that. I'm all about being kind to neighbors and not making a nuisance of yourself, but I'm also a little fiercely independent. You lived in West Virginia for over 24 years. That's where your husband's from. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. But at this stage in my life, I doubt I will be moving anywhere. We have a big farmhouse, and I'll probably be moving from the front to the back of the house. Temporary Portugal to learn about my ancestors. That's a neat idea. Yes, I want to go to the German Alps. Yep, I want to do the same thing. I want to learn more about where my ancient ancestors grew up and lived. In the Black Forest of Germany. Schwarzwald. That's what I want to do. Between Beckley and Princeton, close to Winter Place Ski Resort. Did you ski? You were born in Charleston, lived there until 6. West Virginia is a beautiful state. Mark and my 40th wedding anniversary is coming up in April, and I would really love to go somewhere nice. What I wanted to do before all this government garbage happened, what I wanted to do was go on the train in southern Canada through the Rockies that has the train with the glass top on it, so that you could see the Rockies as you're driving, as you're meandering through there. But we are not too liked. You never skied in your life. Your ancestors are on the reservation in Colorado. Where were they before the Colorado reservation? Colorado, get one of those ghost towns. Ooh, that sounds cool. Let's look at this number 1. I'm going to use the leftovers in this number 1 first. I haven't skied either. I'm not a snow bunny. We have a cabin in the Poconos. We did. We went to another member of the family who is now not letting any of the other members of the family who grew up there on the property, which is really sad. My memories of that wonderful place are locked away now. Never Beckley said I could move to Colorado. College and mountain, gorgeous there, and then went to Canada. It is gorgeous in Canada. You've water skied. Oh, you are braver than I am, Miss Anita. Cherokee, Carolina. Ooh. Crime case. Cherokee, North Carolina is beautiful. I live 2 hours from there. Nice, Sandy. Nice. I have a great grandmother who was a native, and I don't know. Oh yeah, Pikes Peak is a beautiful place to be. I don't know which tribe. I think it's like Lenni Lenape, because that's who is in our area most often. Lenni Lenape. There's a Lenni Lenape little museum near here, and I would love to go and find out more. My husband's family has someone who's a native on their side of the family too. We just say we're 1/16th 1/16th native. Great grandmother. It's Cherokee mixed with Mohican. Cool. I don't know that I would ever be able to verify it unless 23andMe or my DNA would show some of it. With my luck, I'm part of my Neanderthal. I'm pretty sure my husband is. He's got these deep eye sockets. I keep telling him he's Neanderthal. I've been watching. Let's see if we can find out. I've been watching archaeological discoveries on YouTube. Some of them are really fascinating. You have to prove your blood quantum. I'm not sure I know what that means, but I can believe that. I mean, you probably have to have like some kind of evidence that your family came from, other than family pictures that passed down. You can tell by the way he looks. And I'm sure there's, some DNA that would prove that. But all I have are like 1 or 2 pictures at the most. And no definitive. Oh, percentage of blood. Okay. Yeah. I doubt that any of us could prove that from my families. I'm pretty sure. Can't. We went to, we were at Four Corners on a family trip in the 70s. and the Navajo were there. And we stopped at a rest stop that was a gas station, and they had a little, they had a little food mart attached, but it was before they were really popular. And this place also had some Native American jewelry, and it was run by the Navajo. We were right on the corner of the reservation. We had to stop for gas on our way out west, and it was the first time that we were followed. From the time we got out of our car, we were followed as we walked through the jewelry shop and through getting some groceries, the little bit that we had, and our gas, and by a native policeman. And he made sure we knew he was following us. It wasn't like they were trying to be subtle about it. And I can understand why they did it. I mean, it was no big deal. We weren't stealing anything. I had nothing to be afraid of. We didn't want to take anything. We didn't want to cause any trouble. We just were there shopping and got our stuff and left. But it was a very strange feeling. And I wonder if that's what some of the African American people feel like in this country, that they're always being watched and followed and looked upon in derogatory ways. It gave me some sympathy for other peoples who have to live that way all the time, because it was a totally new experience for me as a kid. You really learn a lot by traveling. You really do. And I recommend it if at all possible, because you really get to know people from around the world are just like you. That people from all walks of life are people. People are people are people. And everyone is precious. Every single soul is precious. And I can't stand it when I hear of aid to those in need not getting out. I can't stand it when I hear a lot of the stories I'm hearing right now. It makes me so angry. It makes me hurt inside, and we're here to care for each other, not to. Anyway, I don't know. I'm going off the deep end again. Stop me, stop me. I just, oh well. You just got to do, you can't solve the whole world's problems either. You just got to do what you were given to do with the gifts that you have. One day at a time, one person at a time. You got to help your little corner of the world be a little bit brighter place. That's what we're here for. Most of us can't solve all the world's problems. We weren't given the resources or the brain cells to be able to come up with a cure for cancer, or or solve the climate crisis or anything like that. Farm Aid, yes, I remember that. I remember that. And the African Aid. I love the way the Brits do Red Nose Day. Do you know what I'm talking about with Red Nose Day? If Gemma were here, she'd be able to tell you about Red Nose Day. Robin Williams brought some of it over here to the U.S. Comic relief, I think they called it. From military life town to a non-military town. Yeah, I guess you do. You're kind of sheltered if you're in, going from military town to military town. You're kind of sheltered in that lifestyle, but the minute you walk off base and interact with the residents in those communities, you get to know what the world is like. We had this, when we were in Ghana, we stayed with the family one night, and it was when Bush Jr. was president. Not Junior, but Bush the Younger. And he was goofy then. And I remember having a discussion at our hosts took us to a local bar. He was a pharmacist, and we talked about politics and things. And it was really insightful hearing what others around the world thought of our politics and how much they would love the kind of situation we have, but not the kind of presidents we were electing. I think that was during the 60s. What, Farm Aid? Could be. I remember the Christmas song, "We Are the World." That wasn't Farm Aid, but that kind of thing. And Red Nose Day is when comedians come out, and it's like a telethon for certain, medical conditions, but with a comedy base to it. Can you believe Saturday Night Live is 50 years old? It's a Heart Disease Awareness Day? Okay. Saturday Night Live is 50 years old. That freaks me out. It was so popular when I was in high school. Speaking of comedy. We need more comedy in our life. I am going to be giving you more good news stories. I had a couple picked out for the nights that I didn't go on. And then my computer rebooted and bye-bye. So yeah, there was one good news story I was going to share. They were taking dogs from the kennels in California who were near the ends of their lives and pairing them with dog trainers who would train them to be cadaver dogs. And they would take them into the fire rubble and things like that and have them search for people alive, alive or otherwise. And what a great way to save some of the pups, especially since people are, losing their animals because of the fire. They take off, they panic, and they race out, and you never know if you're going to see them again, just like in the floods from the south. But then going into the shelters and giving these creatures a job to do, giving them a second lease on life. I think it was an amazing way to do that. Yep, Jerry Lewis Telethon, muscular dystrophy, yep. Yeah, we could do so much if we put our mind to it. And these oligarchs who just want to make more money for themselves. They have more money than God does now. What's the point? What is the point? Anyway. I better let you guys go. It is almost 11 o'clock here. We've been on 2 hours now, most of us. I thank everybody for joining me tonight. I hope the conversation has been entertaining or interesting at least. And please, I'd love to see the channel grow even more this year, and let somebody else know about another diamond painter or crafter, know about our Get Her Done challenge for the year, and have them sign up so I can give away more crap. I can give away more good stuff that I have in my stash that I need to destash, that I can share my minor stuff with others, and we can have a good time together on Tuesday nights. If you know of somebody you want to hear interviewed, let me know. I will try to arrange a time to interview them or have them on a Tuesday night. And I'm looking forward to all kinds of things to come. So, yeah, it was great seeing everybody. Oh, cuddle the guinea pigs for me. Give them a little wheat for me. A little piece of lettuce. Or carrot. Mine used to love carrots. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. You're all on my prayer list. Just coming in here, you're on my prayer list. And those of you with special requests, you'll be remembered every day this week. And I just thank you for hanging out and brightening up my day too. All right. Take care, everybody. Take care of yourself. I love everyone. Love, luck, and lollipops. Mwah. Bye, y'all. See you soon.